let's go into our last area. This is one that is really exciting, and it's the last one for a reason, because it does require a lot of legwork to get to this point. It doesn't have to, but typically if you want to be running your business from an iPad and just looking at a dashboard and following some KPIs, key performance indicators, there's actually some work that needs to be done to be able to get to that point. And a lot of it revolves around setting a foundation for your books, having software in place that people are using regularly, keeping up to date. You had 3 really good points about KPIs. Maybe I'll let you talk about them and not steal from you.
Tell me what they were.
Meaningful, easily trackable, and current.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, man, I'm a pretty smart guy. No, that's what I would have said again. First of all, a dashboard is KPIs.
Yeah.
That's what it is. I mean, whether you got a little speedometer on there or got a graph or chart or whatever, it is KPIs. They're meaningful KPIs when you use them and you look at them and you care about them, and that you look at them and care about them because they are an indication of a broader, what's going on a more broad sense in your business, right? Gary Collins wrote the book Good to Great, and he said that it's a real famous book. Probably many of our listeners have read it. But
you said Gary Collins?
6 things that Jim
Collins. I think you said Gary.
Yeah.
It's Jim Collins.
I know who Gary Collins is.
I don't know who Gary Collins is. Who is Gary Collins?
Well, he's a pilot.
Oh.
He used to write. Anyway, Jim Collins. Okay. There we go. A long time ago, he used to write articles on flying. But he sets out the things that distinguish highly successful businesses from their competitors. And there are a number of really interesting ones, but one of the most important is what he calls, they have a meaningful, powerful key denominator. That's what he calls them. But that's a KPI. KPIs are usually expressed as something per something, like dollars per hour or square foot per cubic yard. I mean, it's some ratio. And I'll just give an example. The one he gave in the book was CVS, and who's the pharmacy company that went away? Eckerd's.
Oh,
Eckerd's.
Eckerd's.
Do you remember Eckerd's?
I do remember Eckerd's.
Eckerd's, well, see, we're having to say, do you remember them? And I had a hard time remembering the name. They're gone.
They are,
right?
yeah. Well, they were acquired by CVS, I believe.
Yeah, I don't know if it was CVS or Walgreens who had the competing philosophy, but CVS wanted profit per store. That's how they measured the success. That's how they measured their managers. Profit per store. Walgreens or CVS, the other one, measured profit per customer. Okay, those 2 philosophies, when you're coming up with them, you say, I don't know, they both sound valid, they both might work. But in reality, the profit per customer caused Walgreens and CVS to behave differently. They will have stores, we have probably 3 within 2 miles of where I sit, CVS stores.
Right.
So they weren't worried. If you're worried about a store problem or measuring by stores, you don't want one a mile away because they'll cannibalize the store sales.
Right.
If you're worried about profitability and getting the customers, you have them in all the convenient locations, regardless of whether they cannibalize sales. And so when they set out with that philosophy, who knew? Well, it turns out CVS or Walgreens, can't remember which one, was right and Eckerd's was wrong, and Eckerd's is gone. Now, there are probably other contributing factors, but I thought that was a great example.
Yeah.
For our listeners, there's something you care about. I mean, cash in the bank is a key performance indicator, right? Mm-hmm. But that's one you're going to track anyway. What is important to you? So if you have as a KPI, I have cash in the bank, that's a very interesting, very important KPI, but all it tells you is that I have cash in the bank. It doesn't say anything about anything else. So I don't consider that a powerful KPI, okay? A more powerful KPI tells you more than just the information it gives you. It gives you an indication. And for this KPI to be at this level, a whole lot of things got to be going right.